your 16th Warriors Group podcast. I am your host, Albert Ramos, and today we have my co-host for the day, Emery Jensen. Emery, how you doing today?
Hey, doing great, Ramos. How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. You're doing great. Thank you for asking. Today, we're going to be talking about a very hot topic amongst, everyone in the military.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows that real estate is a very hot topic. It's always been. But I've been seeing a lot of influx of people that want to become agents while they are in the military, right?
Right.
So we're going to be talking and we're going to be sharing our experiences because I am still an active duty gunnery sergeant. I'm actually getting out here this year in September.
Congrats.
I'm starting Skill Bridge here very soon as well. And I know you were also an agent, you became an agent while you were in the military, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about your experience.
Yeah, so I joined the Navy in 2017. 2 years later, came my first command here at Coronado, NASNY, HSC-8. And one of my LPOs, he was a realtor, and I was kind of watching him, seeing how his lifestyle was. Yeah. He had like nice cars, nice houses, a boat even. I was like, hey, man, what are you doing to afford all this stuff? Because, it's not a normal lifestyle for someone in the military, right? Yeah. And he told me he was a real estate agent. And I got intrigued. I asked him how he got into that. And he just told me to read his book. You probably heard about it. Everyone's probably heard about it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So I read that book, and I was like, man, Robert Kiyosaki, this guy is onto something. I want to get into real estate. And so I asked my 81 again, my LPO again, and I was like, hey, how do I go about getting my license? He told me all the steps, took my courses online, and from start to finish, took me about 6 months from the courses to get my license in.
What year was this?
Back in 2019. So
you got your license in 2019, right before COVID, right?
Right before COVID.
Yeah, so right before COVID. Yeah. What school did you go to?
So it's not very a reputable school, I guess you could say. It was just online courses. Firsttuesday.us. It was like $200 for the course, all online, super simple. It's right for me,
Okay, and so because I want to divide it, right? Because I like to break down things Barney style. Okay,
love it.
Like the majority of our viewers are going to be obviously military personnel, right? That are going to try to get their license, right? Oh, yeah. And what I want to ensure is that I break it down into steps. So step one is you have to enroll in either online or physical class. I would highly encourage online, by the way, right? I agree. Yeah. Because for the Marines that are watching me, online is kind of like MarineNet, right? You just got to click through the courses, right? And you have to take a test at the end. Same. Is that how it was?
Same as Navy Year Learning for us. Go on the website online, click through it, and you got a test at the end of your courses. And then every 2.5 weeks, take that course.
How many courses did you have to take?
Just 3.
3, right?
Just 3, yeah.
So I had to take the same. I actually went to allied schools, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the link in my bio, so that way you guys can go to the allied school that I went to, and if you guys would like, I can give you my referral code, and you guys can sign up towards the allied. Okay, I think you get like a 30% discount or something like that. So yeah, so that's good. I'll make sure that I link that in the bio. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so step 1, complete. You go through the courses. How long did it take you to complete those 3 modules?
So those 3 courses, you took a test every 2.5 weeks. So it took me almost 2 months. 2.5 months to get that completed. Okay. And so super quick. And then after that, I went to the state building downtown for the California Bureau of Real Estate. Did my background application.
Okay. So I think that's changed actually because I had an agent. Yeah, I think that changed because I had an agent that did everything online. So I know that when you and I were doing it, it was like you actually had to go, but after COVID, everything got messed up.
Right, makes sense.
The reason for it is because when I did it, I had to go online to the Department of Real Estate. I had to fill out my application online, and then what I did was I had to print out all the documents. I had to get my fingerprints done. My background check and all that stuff, and then after I did my background check, I had to get everything along with a cashier's check and then mail everything to the Department of Real Estate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then after I mailed everything, they sent me an email saying like, hey, your application has been processed or whatever. Now you can actually start, looking for a date. The problem was when I did my stuff was through COVID.
Yeah, that makes it a little tough.
Yeah. So my process was actually a little bit longer just because when I was doing it, everyone and their mother was super backed up. Yeah. So just for me to take the test was 3 months. Just for me to after I done my application. Okay.
Yeah.
But step 2, from what I'm understanding, is you got to fill out the application in the Department of Real Estate website, right? or the California, if you're trying to do it in California, the Department of Real Estate in California website. And then from there, you just have to wait until they give you a date for to go to school.
Right.
Any pointers, because there's a lot of hurry up and wait. At least it was for me, right?
Of course.
Any pointers for people that are just waiting for their date to take the test?
Yes, of course. So I was in the same spot too. You know, I had to wait, I think it was like 2 months for me to find out my test. And then once I got my test locked in, my date, I went and enrolled in a crash course. Because I knew it's been a while, 2 months from the courses, and I was just clicking through them. Didn't really retain much, you know. So I went found a crash course. It was like $125, a Zoom thing, and it was super helpful. I took it the weekend before my test in person. And I went in on that Monday, took the test, crushed it. I was the first one done. So if you can find a crash course, a good one, I highly recommend that, because you don't want to go back and pay for the application for the test. And waste more money, you know.
I did the same thing. So I actually took a crash course, same thing like the weekend before. Nice. I think that is a great tip, right? Because there's several things that I want to touch up on. First of all, 90% of the stuff that you see on that real estate test, you're never going to ever see again unless you become a broker. Right. You know, like that's the reality. Like, unless you become a broker, you're never going to see that stuff again as a real estate agent, right?
100%, yeah.
And the second thing is that this is when I went through the crash course, this is something that they actually told me was the real estate salesperson exam, that's the exam that we took. It is 100% word association.
Right.
If you learn to associate the specific real estate words with what they're asking you on the test, you're gonna know exactly what the answer is gonna be. Right. That's the way that I took at it. So they taught me that in the crash course, and on top of that, what I did was, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't retain absolutely nothing. Listen, man, I'm a Marine by trade.
Hey, I'm the same way.
I did not retain absolutely nothing from the courses that I took, right? But what I did was, a week prior for me taking the course, so the Monday before, I just started going to YouTube. And I looked up like California real estate license, and a lot of good courses came up, right? I just studied that. I would do nothing else for the entire week. And then that weekend I took the crash course. That way I'll be familiarized beforehand. And then on Monday I went to take the test, and then boom, I went ahead and took the test, right? Now, step 2 is obviously, I think step 3 is take the test.
Right. Step 3, take test.
And pass the test, right? Take the test and pass the test. Okay. So we're in step 3. You pass the test. I broke down crying, by the way, when I took my test.
Hey, it's emotional.
It's definitely emotional.
It's a good accomplishment.
I know for me that is what I knew was going to be like the beginning of the end for my military career. You know, like I knew that as soon as I got that license, I was going to be able to change lives. You know, including myself, you know, but I was going to be able to help people, because man, I would like to think that what I went through, I got denied. Like the first time that I tried to use the VA loan, I got denied, and I didn't know anything. Bro, I'm Hispanic, man. Like I looked at credit like man, I'm never gonna have to pay this money back. You know what I'm saying? And then when I didn't have to do that, I was like, man, I'm just gonna forget about it, right?
Right.
And then I got denied for my VA. And then when I was seeing there, like I passed, and then I had the knowledge in me in order for me to help service members to not make the same dumbass decisions that I made.
Right.
You know, I was like, man, I'm about to shock some people.
It's a good feeling.
Right?
Yeah.
So you pass the test, but that's when the real work begins.
Right. That's the real work.
Talk to me about how was it whenever you decided, whenever you passed the test, what was the next step for you?
Well, so for me, the next step was to get into the access to the MLS. You know, you want to get your access to the contracts for the California Department of Real Estate, right? To do an offer, all the good stuff. Get access to the homes, obviously, as well. And then that costs around $1,200 a year, I think, at the time when I was doing it. But there's still no leads coming in. You got to find out a way to bring you actual business, because everyone thinks that when you get into your license, you tell everyone, and that they all just come flocking to you. Like you have no time.
Quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite. Yeah. It's almost like you're deterring people. You know, like, you're a realtor.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to find your own business, right? Yeah. And you can do it in 3 different ways. You can either buy it, which is like Zillow, you know, paying for ads, stuff like that. Yeah. Doing cold calling, door knocking, or you just wait for it.
Yeah.
You know, and I was waiting for it for a long time. You know, I was waiting around, sitting, think that people just come to me trying to buy or sell a house, and I quickly found out that I had to put in some effort to find some business and help some families, you know?
Yeah.
Because they don't know I'm a realtor. I gotta tell people.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So basically you have to go out there, right? But I think that there is a step like I just want to make sure that everyone understands. Just because you took your license, you can't just go out there starting selling real estate, right? You have to become part of a brokerage.
Got to find a broker.
Yeah, so you got to find a brokerage, right?
Yep.
And that is when the real work starts, right?
Oh yeah.
Because the Department of Real Estate will, unless you just get your broker's license, right? But there's a whole different process for that.
Yeah.
Unless you become a broker, you have to be part of a brokerage. And in addition to being part of a brokerage, you also have to be part of an association of realtors.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I would highly encourage that during that time frame that you are getting what's it called? That you're just waiting for getting the test. I would start interviewing some brokerages.
Yes, good tip.
Right?
100%.
So interviewing some brokerages. That way, as soon as you take the test, you can start, you know, selling real estate, right? Or at least, you know, starting to train what you're really going to retain in the real estate market, which you train with your broker, right?
Yes.
Or a team lead, right? Not all of them are brokers, right? But at least with a team lead, right?
Right.
Now, with your brokerage, that's really going to depend on what training they offer, right? Which one offers training in your area, right? Like a lot of different things, right? And on top of that, you also got to see what association you're going to be working with, because an association, that means is, okay, you're part, I'm guessing you're part of the San Diego Association of Realtors.
Yeah. SDAR,
SDAR. I'm part of the Southern Riverside Association of Realtors, right?
Makes sense.
Because the majority of the people that I work with are working under that association, right? And in reality, now the biggest difference was, you know, just the lockbox combination. You know, it was like one of them used a different type of lockbox that we use Supra over here, and you guys use Sentry Locks box over there, right?
Yeah.
In reality, that was the biggest one. However, if you're trying to get your license, you can only be part of one brokerage, but you can be part of multiple associations of realtors, right? The thing is, each association is going to charge you a fee. Right? So you have to be ready to pay that fee, right? So total money. From the beginning, from the start course and everything, to the end, like you're ready to rock to sell homes. How much money did you spend?
So for the courses and the application background test, state test, that was probably about $600 for me, I want to say, maybe $700. And then the fees for the Association of Realtors, that was probably another $1,200 to $1,500 in that price range to get all the Central Lock access and everything else the association gives you.
Yeah, and that is I 100% agree. I would say a good budget to have, it's, you know, when you're starting real estate, it's around $1,500 to $2,000. I think that is a good amount of money in order for you to have.
I agree.
Because that is from start to finish, right? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I thought the brokerage was going to provide this." Nah, you are an independent contractor. You know, so independent contractors, they have to find everything. Their own marketing. Yeah, the brokerage is going to provide, you know, it's going to provide you with the tools, but you're going to have to pay for those tools. Right? And if they have to pay for it, they're still going to charge you in the back end. You know what I'm saying?
First check or whatever it might be, you know?
Yeah, from the first check or whatever, they're still going to get you in the back end. So that's what I'm saying. You have to make sure that you do your research whenever it comes to brokerages, right? So definitely do 100% of your research whenever you're doing that, right?
100%.
Now, so that is step 5. You know, you become, step 4 is you become part of a brokerage. Step 5, you become part of an association or several associations. Step 6, you're rocking and rolling. What tips do you have for the agents to become rock stars?
So for your first year, the majority of agents they're gonna get their business from their friends, their workplace, family. So make sure you tell everyone that you know and that you meet that you're a realtor. First things first, right? Get as many referrals as you can. That's gonna be the main part of your business for the first year. After that, what I did personally, I started doing a lot of cold calls. You could do door knocking if you want, do face-to-face things. But the point is you got to get out there and talk to people no matter which way you do it, whether it's, doing the cold calls, door knocking, or paying for stuff.
Yeah.
It's really up to you what your preferences are. But personally, I tried the whole pay for leads thing, pay for business, and they don't have a very high conversion rate.
Yeah.
So you spend a lot of money to get not a good of a paycheck. Yeah. Compared to when you're just talking to people face to face, that's free, Yeah, exactly. Your paycheck's 100% yours besides a brokerage split, right? And it just feels a lot better doing it that way too. Yeah. Because you keep most of that money. Exactly. And that's what you want.
No, and I agree. One of the things though that in my opinion, it's sit down with your mentor. Like find a real estate mentor, right? It can be your broker or it can be somebody else. Maybe you're working with a brokerage here in California, but maybe your aunt does real estate, I don't know, in Oregon or Florida or something like that, right? Right. Get with a real estate mentor, right? And once you reach out to that mentor, have him sit down with you so that way he can go over like what are your the expectations and your goals, right? Right. Because in real estate, you're only as successful as you want to be.
That's right.
Because a lot of people and everyone talks in real estate, right? But very few can actually back it up. Right. So just understand that because in real estate, nobody really cares how much effort it's going to take you to produce one real estate transaction. That's the reality, right? Yeah. No one cares. What they do care is that you're closing, deals.
Getting results.
Yeah, you're getting the results that you need, right? And your mentor in real estate should go over, how to start to generating those results that you want for your life. Because there's some people that be like, I'm in the military, like I'm good, with just closing one real estate transaction every 3 months. Okay, cool.
That's fine.
Then you need to contact X amount of people.
Yeah.
However, if they're super ambitious, like, no, I'm getting out of the military. This is what I want to do for my life. Yep. I want to close 3 transactions. I don't think a lot of people really understand how much work it takes to close 3 real estate transactions in one month.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Even in one quarter, 3 months. It really they underestimate the amount of work that it takes. That's why a lot of people don't pass, the first year or two in real estate. That's why they don't make it, But I 100% agree with you. It's very important in order for us to understand that we have a mentor and that you sit down and you understand the options that are available to you, whether it'll be cold calling, whether it'll be buying the lead, or where they'll be putting in the actual hard work of meeting people face to face, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I think this has been a very productive conversation that we've had.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And I have one question. How can people reach out to you?
Good question. So I'm on all social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me at Emery Does Realty. My phone number is 2-619-349-4544. Call me, text me, days, nights, weekends. I'm always available. Just reach out.
Hell yeah. So you guys know that if you guys are looking for a realtor, you guys can reach out to Emery. However, you guys also know that I am always available and I love to do collaborations with fellow service members, with fellow veterans, okay? Because guess what? We're here to support each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we're here to support each other. 100%. If I don't know something, I'm going to reach out to Emery. I'm going to reach out to Maurice. I'm going to reach out to somebody in my group, right? And we're going to make sure that we keep sustaining ourselves and that we keep, bringing in and essentially putting our clients first over everything else, right?
Yes.
You guys know that you guys can reach out to me in the link above or below. And I'll see you guys in the next Warrior Group podcast. I'll see you there.